Hi, it is June the 20th, 2026. One of these guys I listen to once in a while, Jeff Berwick, he says, "Oh, life is like a video game, or life is a video game." Like that, the reality that we're in is just a video game. Um, so, what I want to say is that the grounded reality of what's going on right now or what has gone on is video games uh, are a replica of reality, but they're not actual reality. And when people die in a video game, okay, no one actually dies, but uh, maybe you could talk about like life beyond death, depending on your theology, but for the most part, I feel suffering in this world, and so I feel like I should assume other people really do as well, and that we should seek to avoid this as a moral imperative, to, to avoid inflicting suffering, where that moral imperative doesn't exist in a video game. Um, you know, a lot of people spend a lot of time immersed in fantasy worlds, literally, meaning video games, for example, or whether maybe they spend a lot of time watching TV, um, maybe they watch movies, maybe they read, um, and not all of these things. I don't think all these things are uniformly bad. Um, People like immersing themselves in a world where you know victory can be had, where good things can happen, where um, happy outcomes can occur, and um, but we gotta keep our feet on the ground, and we gotta remember that the video game of life, the actual physical reality around us, this is our true video game. This is our true um, experience, where the punishment and reward has real physical consequences. Um, we're really going to feel it, a lot more if we experience an outcome in this uh, world than in a fantasy world. A lot of people, most people, reasonably, don't care much for this world. Um, they don't see a lot of opportunity. They don't like spending time in it. Um, and that is what we got to overcome here, um, because this is where the real consequences lay. You know, I recommend walking or cycling, just physically being out in the world, under your own manpower. I think that is grounding and important. Looking for opportunities, understanding that precious metals which exist in the real world, no fantasy world, um, these have real value, um, and people should be doing what they can to accumulate them, um, until they're at a point where they're comfortable. So that's tough. That's a challenge. It ain't cheap living in the USA. People got to figure out what they got to do. You know, one of the biggest things more people should be doing is taking on more roommates, living more heads under one roof, dividing expenses. You know, your ultimate equation is revenue less expenses. And so if you're having a hard time increasing your revenue, at least if you decrease your expenses, that's just as good as far as either diminishing how much you're bleeding or increasing how much profit you're making. So the goal is to be in the money. Um, yeah, you want to be making a profit, um, like a poker tournament. Um, and you know, a poker tournament, a physical live poker tournament, that is a real world experience. That is being around other human beings, as unpleasant as that experience can be at times. Um, that is interacting with the physical world. Um, you know, improv class, uh, any kind of physical gathering of individuals is part of the physical world. You know, you got nature beyond humanity, and then you've got humanity and its sickness and its madness um, and its futile way of life. Yeah, living in fantasy worlds while the real world demands attention. So I just wanted to comment on that. I am actually going to play a poker tournament today. Uh, I won't be on time. I'll be very late. I don't have patience right now to sit there. I've played a bit of poker the last couple days. I've run pretty bad. And honestly, I was already running bad at the end of my Vegas trip. So I think I'm ready to take maybe another week. Take another week after this tournament. Unless I cash the tournament. You know, then I might let it ride a little longer. This might be cutting me off. It looks like it's still running. I gotta wrap it up though. My battery's hitting a wall here, so might cut me off. So I'll say goodbye now in case I don't get a chance to when it cuts me off. Yeah, we got a little no limit tournament out here in the desert today in Arizona. A lot of people are in Vegas for big time action up there, but um, we're holding it down here. Um, yeah, so that's my story. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough in Arizona, especially because it's so hot. Um, it's tough to stay connected to the physical world, but you can gather in places with air conditioning and you can visit nature in the morning beyond humanity um, in those early hours before it gets too hot. You're early to bed, early to rise. I've violated that axiom the last couple days. Um, yesterday I shouldn't have even played. It was silly. The day before when I broke the game, I had this strange sense of guilt, like, why am I breaking this game? I'm ruining everyone's time. It was 1:30 in the morning. Um, and I kind of half said, well, I'm trying to not violate my early to bed axiom so much. But then I didn't get much sleep. I was up till 3, woke up at 7 a.m., Went through my day, was just real busy. Didn't manage to make it out there till like 8 p.m. or something. I shouldn't have gone out there. It was too late. That's too late to get started. Um, so, I don't want to be. I don't want to be a night owl. I don't want to be out there in the middle of the night, man. But sometimes you like the game you're in. Um, but I gotta remember, I like most of the games I'm in. I mean, that's the honest truth, man. Uh, just from an action standpoint. Um, yeah. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna let you guys sleep on that and be well.